has a lot to do with faith. It's just the hope is, if we have no hope, we don't carry on. We have to have that glimmer of hope, even if it's a glimmer, to even make the next step forward. Or we will sit scared all the time, scared to even go out of our own house. We need that hope. We need that glimmer of hope. And hope is knowing there is something better for us. Something better happening, a better, brighter day. We have hope tomorrow's going to be sunny and warm. That hope is dashed today when I woke up. But again, it's through the seasons of the soul. You have to remember, it's just a season. Spring is on its way. We're hoping to go outside and find that first green leaf after the dead of winter.
Okay, everyone, welcome back to Living the Next Chapter. We're doing another author from our great Mission Hope book by Shar Murphy and her great team of authors. Today, Todd's on with us, and Todd's here with his parrot as well, which she might be talking in the background.
Yeah, she might be.
she might be speaking up. So if you hear her, we're all going to love and have her on the podcast as well. Todd, welcome to Living the Next Chapter. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
It's great. So, Todd, for the listeners that are listening, where are you in this great big world of ours?
I'm in Cabot, Arkansas.
Okay, now you got to tell me about this wonderful place. What keeps you there? Tell me something special. I need to know.
I love the country. Kind of out in the woods and with the deer and all the other critters. And it's just, I love the trees. I love nature. We've been working on this plot of land for about 4 years now, I guess. Clearing out, making the backyard more like a park, kind of a zen place. Everybody just goes and relax. And I'll never know who's going to be in my backyard when I go out there. People will be just sitting out there on the benches or in the chairs, just enjoying nature. And I love it like that.
Beautiful. That's awesome. That's great. So you're part of the book for Mission Hope. You're one of the contributing authors. Is this the first time you've written for a book before?
Yeah, it is. I have a poem that Shar Murphy put in her first book, Unshakable Power. It's kind of right at the beginning. And she published that. That's the first time it's been published. It was just a poem. This is a little bit of my story, in condensed version, but which everybody really had to do to fit it into the book. But I'm very excited about just this whole project, bringing any kind of hope or joy to this world that's in chaos and pain all the time. So, yeah, I'm really excited about it.
So before we hit record, we were talking a little bit about Shar and loving on Shar and who she is to us. And we kind of agreed that meeting Shar, there was just this light around her. There was something that just attracted us to her. And there's something about her as a person, right? Like a magnet, right? Tell me about the first time in your early days of meeting Shar.
Well, I was managing this restaurant, and she walked in, and during the night there, we talked, and then she came back, and she just kept coming back, and I would meet her at the door when I saw her car drive up, and we've been friends ever since. Just like I said, it was like our souls recognized each other. We were
right. That feeling. I had that same feeling. She
has that about her, and that light, she raises everybody else's vibration. And that's, kind of part of this book, and everybody trying to raise the vibration up, bring a little bit of joy, hope to people that are hurting and in pain or going through maybe the same things that one of these authors have been going through, and they can recognize that and connect.
Did you have any hesitation when she asked you to be a part of this?
No. Shar asked me, I jump.
Hey.
I mean,
I love it. What did she tell you about the book when she first talked to you about it? Did she give you an idea of what the book was going to be about?
Yeah, we were talking about it, and then, I was like, well, what about, this and this? And she'd say, well, I think we'll do a series, one hope, one about joy, one about faith. And I mean, she has such great ideas, and I don't know how she does it. She has that little magic well, I can pull it all in and make it happen. That's Char.
So have you had any interaction at all with any of the other authors in this book?
Just through one other Zoom meeting where we were all kind of on there. And, but I've been trying to connect with them, through social media, and, they're all amazing.
Yeah. And I guess it'll be fun to hear the other authors, their podcast episodes about the book, because you get to hear their story and stuff. One thing I was asking all of the authors so far is if you had a message specifically and directed to Char, if I got out of the way for a second, what would you like to say to Char? Because she's going to listen to this, and the other authors will. And what's your message to Char in this whole thing?
All the help and the patience. I don't know if ever anybody realizes how much patience that she's had to, pull together to do this, and guiding me step by step, because most of us have never written before, and she guided us step by step. Her and Dominic, they're just amazing people. I mean, I couldn't do it. And there's no way this would ever happen with Char. She's the glue.
That's amazing. Okay. So without giving away your chapter, because we want people to buy the book and read your chapter, what can you tell us about what's written there that's going to connect with people? Is there anything you'd like to add to what you've written that kind of would help a reader understand your chapter? What do you want to talk about?
Oh my goodness. I would have added a lot more, but you have to condense it and everything. But one thing is, some people I've heard, my whole life has been, bad luck, and my book starts from when I was 4 years old, and how that even shaped who I am today. And we have to look back at our lives, no matter how hard they are, and go, that's a lesson learned. And now I know when stuff happens that's just not what we want it to be in life, I can say, I'm going to find the lesson here. Lord, let me learn my lesson. I don't want to be doomed to repeat it. I want to keep going. And this is about having that hope to keep going, that tomorrow's going to be a brighter day. That the clouds that you're seeing, that the sun's still behind them.
Yeah.
One day those clouds will leave and that sun will be back out of you.
We talk about these lessons that we learn. What is one of the most recent lessons you've learned that you're just like, wow, what a great moment I've learned. I've walked away and I see the world differently because of this.
Oh gosh, there's so many. I'm right now living in a very, I would say, blessed state, but I've had to help others. So in long run, someone else is always there to help me. So I've learned that lesson too. I let people be people. I see them. It's kind of hard to explain. My place here, we call it the hill. We kind of live on a hill, and it's a healing place. And I want to always help other people. But in turn, I see so many blessings. I was just telling my friend the other day, I said, you hear that, count your blessings little thing. I'm like, I'm beginning not to be able to count that high. But Char's taught me one thing. Look for the good in everything. In everything. Even when it looks bad, there's going to be something good coming out of it. Focus on that. And so I use her phrase all the time. Look for the good in everything, no matter what's happening. And you become a happier person that way. You don't have to have money and all this stuff. You can be happy. And some people, and I didn't know how to do that for so long. And I was a worrywart, biting my nails, had stomach problems, all that. I had migraines, and I haven't had a headache in like 20 years now. Not even a tension headache. Gave it all up. My chapter is called Let Go and Let God. And sometimes we'll say, God, help me take care of this. And then we're still trying to take care of it ourselves until we get to that point where you finally go, okay, God, you're going to have to take care of this. And he said, well, finally, now move and let me work. you know? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
about
yeah,
letting
I know.
go and not trying to control every little bit of your life. That there is this higher being up there that's in control. And when we just finally let go and let God, things fall right into place.
What's the hardest part about letting go, though?
Our control. I mean, we want to control everything, yeah, that is hard. And it's hard to just go, okay, if this is going to happen, it's going to happen. Now, how am I going to be afterwards? Where am I going to be afterwards? Usually it's God trying to move you to a better spot that we're going kicking and screaming. And I will say, I have gone kicking and screaming, but at the same time going, well, this obviously is what I'm supposed to do. And it always works out when you finally let go and let God.
So when people are finished reading your chapter, what do you want them to feel, know, walk away with? What is your hope for them?
I hope that they can identify with maybe some of the things that they've gone through in the past or what they're going through right now and go, you know what? I can do this. I can do it. And keep pushing on.
One thing you talk about is making a place at your house where you live, where you're connected with nature and that space of peace. How do we do that in our daily life? How do we create that place that you're creating there physically? How do we do that ourselves?
Well, you can write down what are you wanting versus what do you have right now?
Okay.
What's not matching there and start crossing it out. Say, nope, that's not going to get me here, but I keep doing it. So I need to stop doing this. My goal is to be here and I'm right here. What's not matching? What do I got to cross out? What do I got to change? If we keep doing the same things over and over again, we keep getting the same things back, you have to make a change. You have to have the courage to step forward and say, I'm going to do this so I can get here.
I remember somebody said, if you want something you've never had before, you have to be prepared to do something you've never done before.
And be sure you really want it.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's like life with no net. Like at the circus, you could fall at any time and you're like, I hope I can do it. I can do it. But yeah, that's scary. It's very scary.
Yes, it is.
But the reward is high, right?
Very much so. It's very worth it. Very worth it.
Okay. So you've got the poem out there in the world through Shar. That's amazing. You have this chapter now. What does it feel like to you to actually be able to say, yeah, I'm an author now? Because you're an author. You've done it.
It hasn't sunk in yet.
Right? That's got to be an interesting feeling for you to be like.
It is. It is. Well, I mean, when Shar wanted to put that poem in her first book, I was so honored and, just taken back and like, is that really going to happen? And of course, Shar, she did it. It was a big blessing. And now I'm expecting if we keep putting blessings on other people, guess what? That's what's coming back to us. We're getting some blessings back.
So this is going to open the door to more writing, do you think, for you in the future?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes.
Awesome.
I want to tell more of my story if it's going to help others.
Okay. So from one author in this book of 18 authors to the reader, now you're going to be talking to them directly. What's your hope for the entire book, above and beyond your chapter specifically? For the whole thing, what do you want the reader to see?
It is above and beyond my own chapter because it's all these authors together that's going to make that impact. Right. And I would tell them, simmer down now. Everything's going to be fine. There's a reason. Now that you know that there's a reason, let's learn and what we're going through. Maybe one day to help someone else that's been through the same thing. Shar's book, I'm sure it has touched so many women. And I applaud her for that because, people are out there feeling all alone. A lot of people just feel all alone. And we're like, been there, done that. It's all right. I want them to have that hope. And I know the book will give them that hope.
So what is your definition of hope as it relates to this book?
It has a lot to do with faith. It's just the hope is if we have no hope, we don't carry on. we have to have that glimmer of hope, even if it's a glimmer, to even make the next step forward. Or we will sit scared all the time, scared to even go out of our own house. We need that hope. We need that glimmer of hope. And hope is knowing there is something better for us, something better happening, a better, brighter day. We have hope tomorrow's going to be sunny and warm. That hope is dashed today when I woke up. But again, it's through the seasons of the soul. You have to remember, it's just a season. Spring is on its way.
Yeah.
We're hoping to go outside and find that first green leaf.
Right.
After the dead of winter.
And what I like what you said at the beginning, Todd, was just about looking back over life and you're like, I see a lot of turmoil. I see a lot of things that have happened in my life. And when I look back now, it makes more sense because I can see I have better perspective.
Yes.
Right. And I think that's the one thing we lose in life is perspective. We get caught up in something that happens in the moment and it worries us. Right.
Yeah. And seeing the big picture, and Shar put it so well with, the title of her book, Unshakable Power, Through the Seasons of Our Soul. Knowing it's just a season. We have that hope that spring is on its way. And that perspective of looking back and going, okay, that was just a season here, but how you've grown each time. In each of those seasons we grow, we get better. And I always believe it's something that God is training us for the future. And I think it always is about helping the collective conscious,
Yeah.
As I see, I brought in homeless people here, and they have nothing and they're willing to give everything to someone else because they don't have anything to hold on to. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I see it more in these people who finally let go, that they can give more of their heart, their mind, their soul, their writing abilities, whatever's going to help the collective conscious. We all need to be helping each other in all kinds of ways.
And I saw somebody did the thing if you take your hand and you put like a coin in your hand and close your hand. Your hand's closed, you can't accept anything. You're protecting what you have, but you can't accept anything new. And when you open your hand,
exactly.
Yes, somebody
There's
might
more
take
blessing.
the coin. Yeah, you might be able to give it away or somebody might take it, but your hand's also open to accept something.
I always say that if you want anything to change, you want something to come in your life, you got to give up something. I mean, you can't go buy a box of Cheerios at Kroger's without giving up $4. You got to give up something to get back. Sometimes I think we're holding on to a bunch of, change my words, crap. When God is trying to bless us, but we're holding on to too much crap. He can't bless us until we let go of the crap.
Yeah.
And that's just letting go and letting God.
And there you go, everyone. That is, yeah.
And, it's easier said than done.
But when you get to hear somebody's story and you get to see it lived out, it gives you perspective, which we talked about. So the reader gets to see your story and you bring them in and you can share a little bit. It's like, okay, that makes sense. I need that peace in my life.
Well, sometimes we have to stop. We have to stall a little bit in order to see things in a new perspective.
You do have to take a break and look back. Yeah. Todd, I love it. I love it. Okay, so you said there's going to be more writing coming in the future with Shar possibly as well then?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Shar, she's the light of it.
Okay, well, we're really looking forward to the book, Todd, and thank you for making time with us today. And your parrot has been a great accompaniment there. I hear her.
She was
She's
loud
listening to you as well. That's great. Thank you so much, Todd, for being part of the podcast and being part of this book and for helping Shar pull this all together. I really appreciate the fact that you were open to do this. And I hope it helps many people as they read your chapter. Awesome. It's great to meet you. All right. Thanks so much.
Nice
so
to meet
everyone, please
you.
check the show notes for more information about the book and about Todd and his parrot and all of the great things that we've talked about today. Todd, thank you for giving us some perspective today. I really appreciate it. Awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for being here for the podcast Mission Hope, Thriving Through Seasons of the Soul. Came out March 24th, 2023. 18 amazing authors, all corralled by the amazing Char Murphy. If you need some inspiration in your life, please go to the show notes, follow the links, go purchase the book, gift it to someone, buy copies and leave it in your waiting rooms of businesses or the dentist office. Just go out and buy the book and support these great authors, many first-time authors, first-time podcast guests. A lot of firsts happening here. Char Murphy, thank you. Dominic Damaski, publisher as well from Motivation Champs. Thank you so much for bringing together these amazing people and to have these authors on a podcast here to talk about their chapters is so great. So encouraging you, go out, check out Mission Hope, Thriving Through Seasons of the Soul. Get your copy today. Thanks for being part of the podcast. Catch you on the next one.
Mindshift Power Podcast, the podcast for teenagers and those who work with them. There's a huge problem in America today. There's a very large disconnect between teenagers and the adults who work with them. I'm looking to bridge that gap with real, raw, honest conversation, not held back by the chains of political correctness. You cannot solve a problem you do not understand. Want to understand teenagers today? Listen to this podcast. This podcast is for teens in the U.S. and Canada. To learn more, go to fatimabay.com/podcast or just look for Mindshift Power Podcast on any listening platform. I look forward to you being a faithful listener.